When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. Make we talk, people.
Good afternoon, everyone. How you all doing? Welcome to our special edition of the Make We Talk program. We're going to talk about corruption in Jamaica. Corruption in Jamaica stinks to the highest heaven. We're going to talk about that. We also have some videos to show about what is going on in the land of wood and water. Thank you all very much for joining me. Thank you all very much for coming on. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. Mr. Ratty, I'm supposed to come on, but Ratty's very tired, so he can't come on. So I guess I'll have to do the program by myself. Hopefully, I'm going to open up the lines that all of you can call in and tell us what you think about the corruption situation in our country. Jamaica is plagued with a corruption situation that we need to really come together and see what we can do to solve Jamaica's corruption problem. Still the crime problem, because the fact of the matter is, if we don't solve some of those, then this country will go out in a way where we don't know where the country is going to come back from. Jamaica is on a precipice. You ever going down Spiritual Hill and you have you're pressing on the brake and your breath is up to your mouth. Your heart is up to your mouth rather. And you're praying and ask God, let it come down Spiritual Hill. Easy. That's where Jamaica is. We're rolling down Spiritual Hill when it comes on to corruption in this country. We're rolling down Spiritual Hill when it comes on to crime problem in this country. And nobody seems to have a clue in what they're doing in solving Jamaica's crime problem. Not one single soul. But we're going to talk about the corruption that plagued this country. The level of nepotism. The level of cronyism in this country. We're going to talk about that. We're going to open up the phone lines for all of you to call in and tell us what is your views on what is going on. Okay? It cannot be that we want to leave a country for our children in this manner. A nation that was the gem of the Caribbean at one point. And I still believe that Jamaica is still the gem of the Caribbean. That is my views. I don't care what nobody want to say. This country is still the gem of the Caribbean. No matter what may go on in Jamaica, no matter what they may think of the country. And people are saying that we are the one who is tearing down the country. We are not tearing down the country. What we are doing is to say to the political leaders of our country, enough is enough. Enough is enough. And the time has come for all of you. If you truly love this country, then come on. Why can't you name the 6? You, Prime Minister Holness, said that Jamaica is a modern democracy. And if we're a modern democracy, Prime Minister, then I still believe that this country, and you, Prime Minister, should name the 6 parliamentarians Your wife, who is the Speaker of the House, should name the 6 parliamentarians. If we are a modern democracy. Because in no other modern democracy, Prime Minister Holness, can 6 members of parliament is on an investigation that they're still sitting in the parliament? We don't nobody know who they are. No one know who they are. But they still sit in the parliament. And you're saying to us, you are saying to us that Jamaica is a modern democracy. Huh? Then if Jamaica is such a modern democracy, which I believe it is a modern democracy, but you, the leaders, have cast a different wind in Jamaica. You, the political leaders of our country, has let this country down the drain of no return. You, the leaders, you, the political leaders of this country. And when you're done, you talk about people on social media spreading propaganda and spreading false news. What sort of false news are we spreading? The country is as corrupt as it can be, caused by you people. So we must just sit down and accept the fact that Jamaica is a corrupt nation and we do nothing about it. We do nothing, we say nothing about it. Well, we the people. Somewhere in the American Constitution it speaks about we the people. We're not really talking about America. But we the people, let us copy a verse from the American Constitution that speaks about we the people. Well, we the people of Jamaica will not sit down anymore, will not stand by anymore, and see this country that we love so much capsize and go down the drain of no return. I do not know about you, but I know for a fact that I personally will not sit down and allow or sit down and say to myself, there's nothing I can't do. Thank you very much, JamaicaTV.com. Thanks, Freedom. Thanks, everyone who's coming on. All those who are logging on, thank you all very much. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Share this live feed. Share this live feed because we're going to dig deep in what is going on. We're going to dig deep in what is going on in our country. It cannot continue like this, people. It cannot. The nation is in crisis. Jamaica is knocking behind. I don't care what nobody wants to say. This is my views. These are my opinions that I see what is going on. The country is knocking behind Haiti's back door. And for so many people now is speaking out. Then is nothing wrong that a Jeffrey Tavares is doing, or a Wilfred Rattigan, or a Herb Nelson Jr., or a Wayne Lonesome, or a Jamaican Callus, or a Jamaican TV.com is doing. We're not doing anything that is wrong. We're speaking about what is going on in the country of our birth, the country that we came here by labor pain, not by aeroplane, nor party pain. We are speaking about a nation that everybody around the world love. Everybody around the world speak of a Jamaica. Everybody. When they say you're from Bob Marley's country, or you're from Usain Bolt country. So why is it that everybody who loves our country, who are not Jamaicans, speak so good about the nation, speak so good about the country? So why can't we as Jamaicans stand up and speak out about the nepotism, the cronyism, and the corruption in the country? Why can't we? Why can't we do it? No. We believe that we're a member of some political party. We believe that because we are a member of the Labour Party, so we are die-hearted Labour Party members. We believe because we're a member of the People's National Party, so we're People's National Party members. We don't think about the nation. We don't speak about the country that we love. Well, let me make something clear to everybody on this platform here. I am a Jamaican, and I will remain a Jamaican, no matter where in the world we go. And for those who lives in the diaspora, we need to speak out and let them know that we have not given up our Jamaican citizenship. So don't come and tell us we don't have any standing in the country. Don't come and tell us that. Don't come and tell us that we don't have any standing in a country, that we're born and growing. Huh? And we can't put a lawsuit against any of those people in there. That's stupidness. That's outright nonsense. But we the people, we the favorite few, who claims that we love this nation, who believe in this nation, the time has come for us to stand up. The time has come for us to speak out and do something about the nation that we truly love. And stop being a member of a political party and so we can't do something because our party is in power. I'm pretty much sure when our parents or our mother have us, we're never born with any clothes in our back to say that, hey, I'm born as a member, I'm born as a liberator, I'm born as a comrade. We never born that way. We were born into this world. Naked I came, and if it happens naked I shall go. We are Jamaicans, and we will remain Jamaicans. Don't sell this country out. Speak out for this country. Stand up for this country. Stand up for the rock you believe in. If other people can stand up for their nation, why can't we stand up for this piece of rock? Why can't we speak out for this piece of rock of ours? Why do we have to just, because it's Prince Andrew or a Master Mark or whosoever is in, we can't speak about it? Is this the nation we're going to leave for our children? Huh? Is this the nation we're going to leave for the children of tomorrow? Is this the Jamaica we speak about a 2030 vision? Is this the Jamaica that we are speaking about a 2030 vision to live, work, and raise family? Live, work, and raise family where? Huh? Live, work, and raise family where? When you see down the very member of the music industry, members of the music industry speaking out, something is wrong. When you see members of the music industry speaking about the corruption in the country, can't we see that there is something wrong somewhere? Huh? Can't we see that there is something looming around this country, ready to explode somewhere? That we can't sit like this as a people. That we cannot continue like this as a people. Can't we see that? You know, I think this is Bounty Killer. Somebody remember, correct me if it's not Bounty Killer. I'm going to play a video here. And listen to this.
Them like them friend and who them mother and them papa and them granny did vote for. Tradition politics them a vote for. Me vote for Jamaica. I mean love freedom and happiness and goodness. Me no like PMP, me no like GLP, me like Jamaicans. And Jamaicans not playing that. They're playing PMP and GLP. Half of the country, 3/4 of the country are PMP and GLP at them cause all the way are going to stay with we. Because when we want to get rid of PMP, we can't get rid of them. When we want to get rid of GLP, we can't. A new party we want, you know. Not GLP and PMP, I know them. Had them hell way to all the foolishness we've been going through.
My. When you see members of the music industry in this country speaking out against the level of corruption and the level of cronyism and the level of nepotism, then something has to be wrong somewhere. My grandmother always says something is, not my grandmother, Michael Manley always says something is fundamentally wrong. Something is fundamentally wrong somewhere. The opposition leader, Mark Golding, at one of his PNP conferences, spoke about the corruption of it in our country. And we're going to play a video with Mr. Golding speaking about corruption.
A corrupt government cannot liberate the people. If the head of the stream is corrupt, the entire river will be also. I do not support corruption. Corruption takes money away from children's education. It deprives hospitals of basic necessities. It means that roads are not fixed. Corruption deepens inequality. It siphons off taxpayers' money to make a few cronies richer with the political connections instead of benefiting the people. This government has been doing everything it can to weaken and undermine the Integrity Commission, which is an institution that I designed as Minister of Justice and brought the legislation to Parliament to fight corruption in this country. I have said it before and I will tell you again. Jamaica cannot move forward without a government built on integrity that embraces principles of good governance in this country.
We have to play this again. We have to play this one more time. You hear what the opposition leader said? Let's play this again.
A corrupt government cannot liberate the people. If the head of the stream is corrupt, the entire river will be also. I do not support corruption. Corruption takes money away from children's education. It deprives hospitals of basic necessities. It means that roads are not fixed. Corruption deepens inequality. It siphons off taxpayers' money to make a few cronies richer with the political connections instead of benefiting the people. This government has been doing everything it can to weaken and undermine the Integrity Commission, which is an institution that I designed as Minister of Justice and brought the legislation to Parliament to fight corruption in this country.
Look,
I have said it before and I will tell you again. Jamaica cannot move forward without a government built on integrity that embraces principles of good governance in this country.
Yes. Corruption. I'm talking about corruption and the people are asking for you, sir. They're asking for you, sir. I'm going to send you the link.
ESOPs, which, I'm now concerned.
we do apologize for this. I'm speaking to my good friend, Sir Luke George Cooke. But the level of corruption and nepotism that is going on in the country is appalling. And there are some videos that we have to show this evening. I'm gonna copy a link and send to Luke George Cooke now. Hopefully he can come on. The level of corruption is going on in the country. Do bear with me, my people. Do bear with me, please. Do bear with me. We're gonna see if we can get Sir Cooke on right now. Do bear with me. Don't go anywhere. The level of corruption. When you see, you heard what Mark Golding said. Before that, you heard what is it Bounty Killer, one of those? I can't remember his name. A member of the music fraternity in the country speaking about the corruption that is going on in Jamaica. But that is to show you that the people are fed up. They are fed up and sick of what is going on. They are fed up and sick of what is going on. And so, when you hear them come out and talk about people on social media bringing down the country and want to bring down, we're not bringing down the country, bringing down the government. We're not. We need to speak with one voice. One voice and one voice only. That we will not stand by and allow these people to continue running a country where our people don't have any food to eat, some of them going to their bed hungry. Huh? And this is what they continue saying to us, that we are the one who is bringing on the nation and we're the one who's doing this and we're the one who's doing that. Let me make something clear this afternoon. I get this copy thing and sent to Sir Luke George Cooke. To have Luke come on. Bear with me, please. Let me see something here. We can't. It cannot be like this. It cannot. We the people must understand. We the people of our country must speak out. How on earth can we, in 21st century Jamaica, allow a government to continue like this? What we need is a government of the people, for the people, and by the people. I just sent Mr. Cooke, Luke George Cooke, the link to come on. Let's hope he can come on. So Luke, I just sent the link to your phone, sir. Thanks. Yes. Yes. So we can't, as people who believe in this country, we grew up in a nation. I've seen our parents working hard. I come in a program about St. Elizabeth, you know. Because them believe that we don't know what's going on in St. Elizabeth. I'm just organizing myself with certain things, you know. The people of the Vumva Von, the Vumva V, who sits in the Parliament of Jamaica, believe that we don't know what is going on in St. Elizabeth. We know. So nobody think we don't know. We're aware of what is going on in St. Elizabeth. There is something I want to play. There is something that I want to play. That honestly, when I listened to it, it was sent to me by a friend of mine, a person who listened to both Mr. Rattigan and myself program. And when I listened to the video, I said to myself, hold on a minute there. I said to myself, my God, I never know that is so corrupt the country is. I shouldn't say I never know, I know. But based on the video that this individual did, I must big up this person who did this video, you know. I must big you up. You know who you are. I'm going to play the video now. I must big you up. You did a great job. That speaks about the corruption in the police force, the corruption in government. And if you go to get a job, if you're not of the effluence of society, if you don't have a certain big name and you can't do certain things, you'll never get the job. But what is going on in the country? Let me play this video. And I want you all to listen to what is going on. Listen to it. Because it's not me who started it. Listen to this.
All right, peeps. On this edition of Sick World, we will be looking at the government and police force of a certain tropical island paradise. This island is beautiful with white sandy beaches, mountains, rivers, and a lot of fun-filled tourist attractions. Its people are beautiful, with a warm culture and welcoming smiles that will make any visiting tourists feel immediately at home. This island is none other than Jamaica. However, over the past few years, the population of about 2.8 million people has had less and less to smile about. First, there is poverty, low minimum wages, high costs of living, a high crime rate, an incompetent police force, and a corrupt government. Jamaica is also plagued by a shortage of skilled workers, hence making it a tradition for both private and public institutions to promote or hire based on favoritism. This unethical practice is a breathing ground for corruption, manifesting many conflicts of interest, as the importance of an employment of relatives policy is not applied or overlooked. Such a policy ensures fairness in hiring and prevents potential conflicts of interest, nepotism, or favoritism in the workplace. On this edition of Sick World, we'll be examining viral video footage of these events, where you will see prime examples of why the practice of hiring or promoting a friend or relative for a certain position can and is a conflict of interest. This is the wife of Jamaican Prime Minister Andrew Holness, Juliet Holness, a member of the House of Representatives, representing St. Andrew East Rural. She was appointed Speaker of the House after Dalrymple Philibert, the Member of Parliament for Trelawney Southern, resigned after the Integrity Commission ruled that she be slapped with 8 charges in relation to her statutory declarations. The Commission's Director of Corruption Prosecution ruled that Dalrymple Philibert be charged with 4 counts of making a false statement in breach of the Parliament Integrity of Members Act. Additionally, Stevenson said he found that Dalrymple Philibert had breached Section 36 of the Customs Act and recommended that his report be referred to the Commissioner of Customs to recover the duties paid on the vehicle and to apply penalties as the Commissioner may deem to be appropriate. In addition, 6 Jamaican parliamentarians are currently being investigated for illicit enrichment by the country's anti-corruption watchdog, the Integrity Commission.
You hear? 6 politicians are in investigation. And the Prime Minister of our country tell members of the Jamaican diaspora in Washington about a week ago that Jamaica is a modern democracy. Not me who said it. The Prime Minister said that Jamaica is a modern democracy. So if Jamaica is a modern democracy, Mr. Prime Minister, why is it that you can't call the name of the 6 parliamentarians who are on the investigation? Huh? Yet this country is a modern democracy? Hold on, listen to some more of this. Listen to some more, please.
As is customary, the lawmakers have not been named while the probe is ongoing. Illicit enrichment refers to a significant increase in the assets of a public official that he or she cannot reasonably explain about his or her lawful income. You should also note that the Prime Minister himself has been under scrutiny since his first term in office, as the Integrity Commission has not certified his statutory declarations for the 2nd time in a row.
You hear that? For the 2nd time in a row, they can't declare his statutory deductions. For the 2nd time in a row. In which other modern democracy can this happen? Are you speaking about modern democracy, Prime Minister? Huh? And you still sit as Prime Minister. You still sit as Prime Minister. You believe it was the great United States or Canada? Canada. You could sit as Prime Minister. Or in America, you could sit as President. And you can't declare how much you were Prime Minister. And you come and talk to us about modern democracy. Listen to some more.
In light of these circumstances, the nation is considering whether or not the Prime Minister's wife was appointed Speaker of the House to hide further corruption, as Andrew Holness's name may very well be among the 6 politicians on the Integrity Commission report.
What a hala mbamba ye. What a hala mbamba ye. You heard the report said? His name may be well beyond the report of the 6 who is on the investigation. Listen to some more.
Criticism persists. Principal Director of the National Integrity Action, NIA, Daniel Archer, says the ongoing decision by the House Speaker to not state the court's decision on the matter is disappointing. In a release Thursday, JAM questioned the legality of Holness's decision. The organization asserts that Holness's interpretation of Section 30 of the Financial Administration and Audit Act is flawed.
The decision that you have made goes against years of convention of how matters should be dealt with in the House. Now, having done that, I am saying, share with us the thinking, the advice provided by the Attorney General, so we can understand the conclusion that you have come to. And I don't agree that the fact that people have raised questions that the acting House leader would consider challenging the Speaker. These are fundamental issues about how the Parliament operates. And in that regard, we have a right to know what the opinion is. And that.
You hear that? The former Speaker of the House. Let me give some history about this thing here. Let me give some history about this. The former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Mrs. Dalrymple Philibert, Philibert, what do I want to call her, told the same gentleman here, Mr. Robinson, the son of Justice Robinson, Julian Robinson, opposition spokesperson and finance, the same individual here, asked the then House Speaker to name the 6. The then House Speaker said that she has to get an advice from Jamaica's Attorney General. Okay? It happened as that the then House Speaker wanted some shibangarang. And this program here, and the Make We Talk program here, called for her resignation. And other programs called for her resignation. She resigned. The current Speaker now, Mrs. Juliet Holness, got the advice from the Attorney General. Mrs. Holness is telling the Parliament and the people of Jamaica that she can't tell us what the Attorney General tell her. Huh? She cannot tell the Parliament of Jamaica she cannot tell the Parliament of Jamaica nor the attorney, nor the people of Jamaica what the Attorney General advised her. She can't tell us. Now, if I am wrong, and I want an attorney at law, I'm not going to quote any part of the Constitution, because there are certain parts of the Constitution that I, as a layman Jamaican citizen, don't understand. It has to be from a person who's well learned. In other words, when I said well learned, from a counsel. When I meant a counsel, from a person who is a lawyer. I'm not going to profess to be any lawyer. But I think, and I believe, that the Speaker of the House of Representatives should tell us, or tell the parliamentarians, and since I don't want to tell the Jamaican people, tell the members of the opposition, what did the Attorney General say to you, Madam Speaker? And let me make something clear this afternoon. We're going to open up the phone lines Just bear with us, please. I see somebody sending me some message here and say they want to call in. Bear with me, please. We're going to open up the phone line soon. So, Madam Speaker, you should be able to tell the members of the opposition if you don't want to tell the Jamaican people. And the Jamaican people put you all there, so we should know. If it was some people who live below Crossroad, would have known long time. And by the way, you know, let me that's what we're going to say. Listen to some more of this. Listen to some more of this, because this is ridiculous. Listen to some more of this, please.
This is what we are asking. And that opinion has not.
Whether or not the Attorney General's opinion should be shared with us. You did not rule on that matter. We have been requesting it over time. You have been indicating that it wasn't ready or you were still reviewing it. And that is why our leader of opposition business today raised it again to say, can we see it? Because we would like to see it. My understanding is that it actually says that the prior convention was sound in law. There was nothing in the law that made it wrong for those reports to be tabled as soon as they come to Parliament. And if
you hear that? There was nothing in law preventing this speaker to table the Integrity Commission report.
that is the case, why are we departing from a sound convention that is in the interest of good governance and transparency?
I don't know if the intent is to control what is given to the people, but I can say that this is just one of the areas of great concern to the people of Jamaica.
In an interview Wednesday, Minister Chuck admits Holness's decision may be intended to prevent public embarrassment.
The video illustration shown is a perfect example of what...
Hold on there. Hold on there. What the gentleman just said a while ago? In an interview, the Minister of Justice, or the Minister of Injustice, Delroy Chuck, said that the failure for the speaker to say anything maybe because she don't want a public embarrassment. So hold on now. Hold on. So you're saying to me that it is okay for them, it is alleged that they dip the hand in the cookie jar? So the people of our country must be lack of bed. The hospitals must have no bed. No service cars for the police force. Some of the schools need repairing. When last time we built a brand new school in this country? When last time we built a brand new hospital? Let me replay what the gentleman said. That the current Minister of Justice, let me give them the title. Let me be respectful to the office that they hold. The current Minister of Justice, the Honorable Delroy Chuck, is saying that maybe why the speaker don't table those things or whatever is because she is trying to stop a public embarrassment. A public embarrassment? Isn't it embarrassing when our people going to the hospitals and be laying on the floor in our hospitals? Is it embarrassing that majority of our hospitals around the country don't have a proper working ambulance? Yet they're saying that healthcare is free when people have to be paying for a private ambulance to take their families elsewhere? Huh? And when the ambulance is assigned to the hospitals, then brought down because they don't get no service. And if members of the Jamaican diaspora want to send an ambulance to the Black River Hospital, they're being told that they have to send it to the Ministry of Health for them to decide where it's supposed to go. If members of the Jamaican diaspora who's from Black River High School, the alumni, and they want to come up together to send an ambulance down to Jamaica, first, they go through a rigmarole. They have to pay an exorbitant amount of money to clear the ambulance. Is that a guarantee that the intended area for the ambulance supposed to go to, Black River Hospital, is not a guarantee to go there. Because the Ministry of Health decide where it's supposed to go. And yet the Justice Minister is telling the people of our country that maybe Mrs. Holness don't want an embarrassment on the other parliamentarian. So she decided not to do certain things. Well, let's continue to listen to this video. Awaiting our good friend Luke George Cooke to come on to talk to us some more. And we're going to
What
open up the
corruption
lines.
looks like, to the extent that a gag order was placed on the watchdog of the government. A gag order is a legal order by a court or government restricting information or comments from being made public or passed on to any unauthorized third party.
You hear that? The Prime Minister himself in the Parliament of Jamaica told the parliamentarians that they must not speak to the media and they must not come back in the Parliament and speak about this until it is solved. So we are here waiting without breath. You know see how long this thing has been going on? The same way with the SSL saga. The Minister of Finance came and told the people of our country that FBI is in Jamaica investigating SSL and not go so. So how can we believe these people? How on earth can we believe these people? Anyway, let's continue with this video.
The absurdity in this is that there is no unauthorized third party, as a corrupt government official must be brought to the attention of the Jamaican public. Note also that the opposition is well in its legal rights to make any comments regarding matters in the government, as it is the legal watchdog appointed by the Jamaican people.
Hear, hear. Hear, hear. In case you all didn't know, the opposition, Luke is here. The opposition has the right to ask the question in the Parliament of Jamaica about anything at all and about this specific going on in the Parliament. Luke, welcome to the program.
Mr. Tavares, well,
Yes,
thank you for having me. You and your erudite listeners. The opposition have a right to ask anything. It seems like the opposition has the ugly cousin in the Parliament, and that they are constantly being scolded by the people who better understand the parliamentary procedure. And the Parliament now seems to have become a kangaroo court where Delroy Chuck reminds Mr. Golden that he is surprised that he calls himself a lawyer. I'm surprised that Mr. Chuck called himself the Minister of Justice, because there is no secret that the government of Jamaica should be afraid to expose to its citizens. But I believe that the people need to rise up, not just the Mark Golden and the PMP opposition. The people need to rise up and say, well, despite me or Ms. Calder saying that she's agreeing with Mr. Chuck about the process by which they are going about the investigation and for a long time, although they're saying we gave $2 billion to the Integrity Commission.
Yes.
But it's almost okay. Thanks for the correction. It's almost a year, and he says he would hate for them to go into next year and that the table again. So I would like for it to be tabled. I would like to hear if the people who are being questioned, based on a response that I saw the Prime Minister gave in a town hall forum or an update. I'm not sure, because I tell you the truth, I don't try to consume all of what is happening in Jamaica, because it gives one the sense that we are not going forward, but we're really going backward, and that it's almost like an amateur club of politicians. And you have to ask yourself, where's the maturity? And it shouldn't be that although this administration is in power, that we should not speak about the 18 years in which the PMP also had questionable circumstances in their administration, and that this has gone on from time to time memorial. So to me, you have the Integrity Commission, but it's like a toothless bulldog, because you have regulation that stop them from how they are supposed to conduct their function. Then you have Parliament now that a young man like Nesta.
Hold on for me, Luke. Hold on for me. Keep your thoughts. Let us play this video that I want to continue. I want the video to finish. I want you to listen to this video. Hold your thoughts for me, Luke. Hold your thoughts, please. Hold your thoughts. Let me get back this video up here. Oh, Lord. How do I do this now? Hold on. There it is. Luke, don't go anywhere. Hold on for me. Let's continue playing this video here.
The recent revelation of the Andrew Holness-led government's decision to impose a gag order on cabinet ministers and government lawmakers from commenting on matters related to the Integrity Commission and the identity of the 6 parliamentarians who are under investigation for illicit enrichment is both shocking and deeply concerning. The notion of creating a so-called cabinet policy to shield ministers from speaking the truth and to evade accountability is a glaring attempt to obstruct transparency and to evade responsibility among elected officials to the Jamaican people. The excuse that this policy is intended to preserve the confidentiality of cabinet deliberations is a misdirection from its true intent. In reality, it seems to be a political maneuver to shield parliamentarians from being held to account for their actions and potential wrongdoings. This is not the kind of leadership and governance that Jamaicans deserve.
And if you think a gag order on your opposition is not corruption, watch this.
We begin with news that of a shooting on the compound of the Integrity Commission offices in St. Andrew. An employee of the agency has been shot and is receiving treatment in hospital. TVJ News was informed that the shooting took place sometime after 11 o'clock. It's believed a briefcase in his possession was stolen by his attackers. We'll have more on this developing story in subsequent newscasts.
When the head of the Integrity Commission was asked about his team member being shot, this was his reply.
Christie was asked what was his thought on the shooting. He replied by saying,
what does it mean? Ask them what that means.
If you like this video, subscribe to Emissary Media.
Oh, Lord, have mercy upon us, dear God. We're not gonna. We soon go to part 2. Soon go to part 2. Let's go back to Luke. Let's go back to Mr. Cooke.
So,
Luke,
yeah, so the challenge is over the years that the people in the parliament have had their hands in the till. And in recent time, I noticed almost every building is being named after a politician. I'm surprised that a facility that was built along the Little King Street area is now called the Desmond Mackenzie transfer home for homeless people.
Then hold on, look. How much him no want name after himself?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, they have become gods, you know. They are gods, so everything has to be politicized. People have to remember who butter our bread. As to say, I know we really make them have garlic bread I eat. So I really think the Jamaican people, though, should really push to have the Integrity Commission ratify its report, and that we should be able to look at it from every walks of life to determine what and who are these people that might be serving us disgracefully. And I'm surprised again that the youngest prime minister that Jamaica has ever had, and I say this without any apology, I don't want my leaders to fail. I have a level of respect for leadership, because you can't just tear it down. And when you tear it down now, you want to reestablish it. But the fact of the matter, I would have loved to see Mr. Holness, apart from the answer that he gave, that be it as it may, he filed his tax return with the Integrity Commission. They sent him a series of questions he answered. Then they sent him a second series of questions, and he's hoping that it will satisfy them for them to approve. That it goes beyond that, that you as the leader of the country, in your inaugural speech, you spoke to the abolishment of certain practice that will not happen. But under your watch, it's like thief take over town. And there is nobody that you're punishing and setting a trend as the youngest leader. But what you're doing is people like myself, yourself, and others who speak out against the atrocities that we're seeing happening right in front of our face, and we're saying, when did we get to here? They literally hunt you down like wild dogs, and they starve you and they punish you. And so it creates that fear factor that you're living in a total state of dictatorship. It's not, Jamaicans don't have the democratic right to question, because outside of the parliament, you're answerable to the people of Jamaica. And if I was answerable to the people of Jamaica and I felt that I am morally obligated to ensure that I am showing that I am doing an effective and efficient job, I would have come out and said, here are the 6 colleagues of mine that are on the investigation, even if it's me. And what it means that if I have to step aside from my duty to facilitate the process to go on seamless, without any obstruction. But then there's the other element to it now, where in broad daylight, a man gets shot, and it was almost like a warning to the Integrity Commission team. Hold this in the back of my mind. We're coming to get you. All guns are out.
Yes.
And it happened in both political dynasty. It happens in these religious bodies now, Jeffrey, that are evangelical, where I tell them members say, oh, God said, and one man go to church and him get the spirit, and him get the pastor and 2 car, and the family said to the pastor, no, he might not be well when him give you. And you're saying to the family, oh, but he gave me because that's what the Lord said. I don't think, I don't think so, no, Lord did say so. But maybe when me and Jesus have a conversation, we can say so.
Hold on, look. There's a part to that video that I just showed. Based on the look that you got from the video, what do you think? Don't you see that people nowadays, both on social media, are livid, they're upset, they're sick, they're fed up of the corruption, the nepotism, the things that are going on in the country?
Well, Jeffrey, here's where me I go say something, and this might be my radicalist view. The Jamaican people love corruption. Sad to say, because blatantly people are rob you. Them I get rich and you are get poor. You don't have good hospital for go, but you love your party and you're a diehard supporter. Your children are not getting the best of education, but you stay strong with the party because you have to stick to the evil, you know. Corruption is not about just them, you know. It's about my attitude and what I will cover. Because when it comes to me and my friend, for instance, me know say you beat your wife, Jeffrey Tavares, but I will go out there and still say that you are the paragon of virtue. Jamaicans have
hold on, look. Let it be known.
No, you don't beat your wife.
I don't beat my wife.
So no, she will beat. She will beat you. No, I'm just giving an. I know you're dear. I know you're dear not try that. But what I'm basically saying is that we look away when it becomes close to home, that what people are doing in our circle, we don't condemn it and say that is wrong. And we set the wrong tone, because look, You have a man where did a beat him sweetheart who now has become his wife, it is alleged, who never charged him for the battering that we all saw in clear sight going back to Parliament. There is an investigation of the former PMP, MP.
No go down there with it.
Oh, why not?
No,
It is alleged.
I know. Go ahead.
Right? It is alleged. You have Mr. Paulwell still sitting in the Parliament, and Jamaicans are divided over that. You hear the conversations. But the fact of the matter, what me know is that our politicians have not circumcised their actions to say that if people perceive you as being corrupt and people also perceive you as having a particular persona, then you have to ask what it is that you're painting as an image to be a leader in this country. The bar is so low right now. Even the dons can become leaders if they want.
Yes.
And this is why the culture of scamming is reflective of the culture of Parliament, church leaders, business leaders in this country. NCB, for instance, there's a lot of challenges, but the people of Jamaica have to determine, Jeffrey, we have to have a collective vision that is going to drive us to get in the sort of country that we want. If somebody is of questionable character, then you need to speak early and definitively, because you know how we like to say, if the head of the stream dirty, the bottom of the dirty. Look at people now that we see getting barred from law, and when we look at their transgressions, it is a lot. So who is going to bail the cat?
So
what do we say?
In other words, Luke, what you're saying that we got to be very careful what we say because of these people who believe that they're the effluent of society.
And it has to be, we have to be the change, Jeffrey, that we want to see. Is not to just blame them, but it is to say that in my own personal circle, what it is that I am accommodating. For instance, you have justice of the peace in this country who are downtown, and it is accepted because police and things to people to them. It is accepted. These people make a lot of money, while you have some other poor justice of the peace guy who buy paper or a printer.
Hold on, before I played the video, the part 2 of the video that I just played, isn't that the JPs are not supposed to accept money from the people who come to them?
Part of, yeah, in the training, them tell you that you are not supposed to be soliciting money. Accepting money that people give to you as a token of their appreciation, that is not solicit. So them tell you, but the truth of the matter is that while minister is chiding Mark Golding on his incompetency as a lawyer, minister must recognize that in this day and age that the work that the JP is doing far more than what they were required, because in the constitution of Jamaica that there is an entrenchment. JP used to be rich people in the different strata of our society. It was a privileged club, but now it has come down to the ordinary people who serve, and they serve at their expense. People come to them and tell them, say, them are going to say an interview, them are beg a recommendation, and at the same time they're saying to the JP, you can't give me a bus fare. So the truth of the matter is that you first make them criminal, then punish them, but you have people out there that are capitalizing on the service that they're offering and are making millions. And so you see, when you have that imbalance in the society, Jeffrey, it leaves too much for the interpretation of the young, impressionable mind. And more and more them sister, this thing about go to school, get a good education, it's not working, because why is it that politicians get 300% increase, Jeffrey, when people in Jamaica can't afford hospital bed, machine in a hospital mash down, education system is in a wreck, only few people have money. Why is it that you're asking the Jamaican people to tighten their belts? So you come back to this now, corruption becomes attractive to them because what? You basically have to eat and you have to survive. And the man I make everybody eat in the district. So the man become the big man. Right now, these young people don't need politicians because they are spending money and they are living some lavish lifestyle like they're politicians. But if you talk to Jamaicans, young Jamaicans between the ages of 12 to 18, they'll tell you that politicians have set a trend and they're just following the trend that was set. It's a new culture that has emerged.
I want you to listen to this video, Luke. And I'm going to play. I want you to listen to this because the person who made this video, I'm going to see if I can get a hold of them. Very nice videos. It was sent to me by a good friend of mine.
All right, peeps. In this edition of Sick World, we will be looking at the police force of the beautiful Jamaica land we love. In part 1 of Served by the Corrupt and Incompetent, we covered favoritism, conflict of interest, and government corruption. It can also be called corruption in the workplace, as the practice of this is very common in Jamaica and is a contributing factor to the demoralizing and breakdown of the workplace and society at large, leading to low production, a high staff turnover rate, and mass migration of skilled workers to other countries. The statistics show that more than 700 nurses in Jamaica have left for jobs overseas since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. Wait, stop and think on that for a while. 700 nurses leave at a time when Jamaica needs them the most. This information was disclosed by the Health Minister, Dr. Christopher Tufton, on Thursday, March 11, 2022. As for teachers, recently the Minister of Education, Favoll Williams, published data concerning teacher migration. According to the minister, a total of 854 teachers have resigned between January and September 2023. The fact is, well-thinking Jamaicans who have the mental capacity to think critically and have learned and mastered trades and professions don't need favoritism or links to acquire a job or excel in a position. We simply show up with our skills and practice leadership on every level. As a result, those who are promoted by favoritism and sex in the workplace are naturally threatened by our presence. Our higher IQ, coupled with our skills and raw talent, inadvertently offend these kind of people, making them uncomfortable and timid around us. In the very end, when we migrate in search of greener pastures, the hurtful and unfortunate truth is that these are the kind of public servants that Jamaica is left with.
Last night, I come from hospital with a patient in the back of my unit, in the back of the ambulance. It's a privately owned ambulance and we only service one specific area because we're contracted to them, right? I'm bringing a patient home. It was not an emergency. There was an accident on the road out by Rosal, the Rosal Highway. Somewhere out there, so an accident on the road. Somebody got hit and they died. We're based on where I am in the traffic. Police just come on the scene and lucky off. I said nobody now pass. They must secure the scene until, whosoever come, probably take up the body or examine the scene. Fine. We don't need to pass. We're not in a hurry. Again, it is not an emergency. So we have no siren, just our emergency lights are on. A man directly behind us, driving a privately owned vehicle, come knock on the window and ask me.
This is how corrupt the police force gonna be. Listen to this. Listen to this, and when we finish this video, Luke and I will be discussing it, and we're gonna take your calls. And listen to me. These things are on social media, in the news. So when the Minister of Misinformation, Robert Nestor Morgan, gonna come and talk about people and social media, listen to me. Your news station that is owned by the Labour Party, I ain't calling no name, they're the one who bring most of the big news. So why don't you come off of them? Why is that we who are speaking out, you have a problem with it, Nestor Morgan? Minister of Misinformation. My audience, listen to this.
If we can take the person in his car to the hospital because they're actively having a stroke. No, we can't, because we have a patient here in the back of the unit. So I said, there's nothing that you can do. I said, no, I can't take the patient, but I can go up to the front and ask the police if they can allow us to pass, me and you to pass, because I will turn on the siren, turn on the emergency lights and allow us to pass because you're having a stroke. I went and I looked at the lady, I examined her, and I just, based on how she looked, she was having a stroke. Her face was drooping. She had numbness in the arm, in one side of her body. She was losing feeling in the arm completely. And her consciousness, her level of consciousness was declining. Fine. I took her vitals, checked her oxygen levels before I went up there to see the police.
Before we analyze the rest of the video, I just want to take some time to applaud the young lady on a job well done. She was flexible, displayed real professional critical thinking skills, and used her initiative, which is far less than I can say about the police personnel in question.
I go up there to few police them, you know. I'm gonna go stutter because I know I'm still in shock. I go up there to the police and I said, hi, my name is such and such. Good night. I'm an EMT. The flashing lights that you're seeing down there, I'm in the back of that unit with a patient. My patient is not having an emergency, but somebody directly behind the ambulance is actively having a stroke. Can you allow us to pass?
Now this is where things started to go south.
The man said, do you have sirens on? Does your vehicle have sirens? He said, yes. I said, yes. He said, okay, we recognize the emergency sirens. You can pass. I said, can the person behind us pass? He said, you have to take that person and put them in an ambulance so that they can pass. I said, no. I explained the situation to him, explained to him when I work and who is in the back of my ambulance and that there's a family in there. I cannot take up a patient. However, the person behind us, there's...
You hear? It is a privately owned ambulance, you know, and there's somebody else in there. Now you're telling me that the members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force was not trained in a sense to have some heart towards a person. She's a nurse. She came up and spoke to the police and said to the police, there's a person behind us who's having a medical problem. Can you allow them to pass behind us while we put on our siren? And that's the heart of the Jamaica Constabulary Force that is there to serve and protect the people of this country. Listen to this. We're gonna speak about this with Luke George Cooke.
Somebody driving the vehicle. It's not the person that's having the stroke that's driving, you know. There's somebody driving. Can you come and direct us out, because it wasn't far back in the traffic, so that they can pass? The man said, no. So I say, who is in charge here? The same time, the big old man with the big old face come and ask what is happening. I tell him what is happening. He said, no, you can't pass.
This is why the practice of promoting yes men and ass kissers should cease and desist in Jamaica. The thing is, this kind of people can't think critically or produce original thoughts. They only can do as they are told. And even after years in any company, they still make mistakes typical to that of beginners. Not only do they make mistakes, they do stupid shit like this, making a situation or an attitude that is negative continue to exist. In other words, one fool makes many.
So I said, let me get this straight. I am telling you, right, that there's somebody in the back of a vehicle right now actively having a stroke. And if you know nothing about stroke, people, if you don't know about stroke, let me tell you, within the first hour of you having a stroke is the most critical hour, because brain cells, they do not regenerate. So if there's extensive damage done during a stroke, that whatever damage is done is irreversible. If them hand now move and their hand stop work because that side of the brain is damaged, no oxygen, whatever, that is it. Let me tell us that when we go back around there, the lady face is like this. And her right arm is like this to her chest. And I tried to move it and it wouldn't move. So you know, say it is progressing pretty fast. And I went back up there, and the man tell me, say, lady, you can turn on your siren and leave, but nobody else cannot drive behind you and leave people. That makes sense?
You really can't make this shit up. It appears that the police can only recognize an emergency vehicle, but can't recognize an active emergency to save and protect lives even when highlighted. This is bad news for Jamaica, to the point where we can have these idiots in uniform calling themselves police. One among them was even promoted to a senior rank. This is beyond incompetence. This is stupidity. The thing is, we cannot honestly believe that people of this level of thinking can understand the core of their job to serve and protect, much less to fight crime.
I am so upset. That means I'm go talk about it. I'm go send no video, but here the man tell me, say, if I turn on my siren, even though I explain to him, you know, say I'm not having an emergency, so I don't really need to bypass traffic because my patient understands, say, hey, there was an accident in the road, we might be here for a few minutes. And then say, all right. You go tell me, say, all right, you turn on the siren, you can't leave because we recognize the emergency vehicle. We recognize emergency vehicles and their sirens, so you can pass. But the person behind you, who is actively having a stroke, have to sit down and wait?
This is the byproduct of leaders promoted to positions by unprofessional, unethical practices, those who are promoted and are now promoting others. The thing is, they only promote people like themselves who are just as stupid as they are. Your higher IQ, deeper understanding, greater intelligence, and sound judgment only threaten and offend these kind of people, to the extent that people that have the mental capacity to act and create change are rarely or never promoted, hence perpetuating the bullshit that is displayed here.
So I sat there and I waited with them in the traffic, just continuously checking for them. Thank you to my patients for allowing me to just go and do that. So I was just checking on her, because when you're having a stroke, there's nothing I can do as an EMT in Jamaica. There's absolutely nothing I can do but get her to the nearest facility as fast as possible and continue monitoring her vitals until we get there. Nothing. We're in traffic. We're there for about a good half an hour. People, half an hour. So the last time I checked on the lady, she could not speak to me. When I went to her at first, she could tell me her name, her speech was slurred, whatever. The last time, which is about 5 minutes before they let us pass, which is when they release everybody, you know, everybody. 5 minutes before they let us pass, she could She could barely speak to me. She could barely speak to me. Yo, me. And this is why I feel like the Jamaican Constabulary Force need to be retrained, because there is no way me can't tell her that. I go tell me, say, no, you can pass, but them have to sit down and wait. Brother.
If you like these videos, hit the thumbs up button. Also, please share and subscribe to the channel, as well as hit the notification bell so you'll get these videos as soon as I uploaded them.
My. Lou?
It is real. It is what it is. But I'm surprised that while he was not prepared to facilitate the request of the ENT specialist, he could have put her in his own vehicle and get her to the near. But again, Jeffrey, what I tell you say now, the country is not being run, it's being micromanaged. Because here's what is true.
Continue talking, Luke. Continue talking.
Here's what is true, Jeffrey. If you talk these things, when you hear the Jamaica Labour Party administration speak about their efforts to make the country better and the achievement that they have achieved in the last 7 years, and that they have outdone all of the previous administration, Jamaica is on the right path. This is not important. This does not get highlighted, and who do you hold accountable for this kind of behavior? Because what I was hoping to hear, she said, and I never hear it, was that somebody went down there and actually looked from the police that were on the scene and made a quick determination. The other part of it is that if you're on the Rosal highway of that, if from my memory, you should just turn the other side of the road in a two-vehicle traffic situation that could get people to go to and fro. And when you heard that there was somebody critically ill and having a stroke, you really should have taken over at that point, because she had already established that she can't go. This level of callousness is not something that you can train. You can't train people to care. You can't train people to have moral and value if they don't want to have it. But what I would have loved if this lady had taken the badge number of the officers that were present and to hold them to a higher level of accountability. And it is true that I do think that Commissioner Anderson is more about PR and spin doctoring and creating a narrative to say that things are progressive in a particular way without having to take full responsibility for their action. And then I hear the story now, and I'm so now in tune and intrigued to hear, did this person get the care that they needed? How much damage was done as a result of the negligence on the part of the police when they became aware? And Jeffrey, their motto is to
serve and protect.
Serve and protect.
And
I understand that you are having one crisis, but I would have loved to see how you handle the other crisis in this regard. But the truth of the matter, that is now the definition of many of our Jamaican public servants. And it is also the action of many Jamaican people that they'll see an accident, but before they try to even help you, Jeffrey Tavares, them start loot everything out of the car. So again, I'm telling you, the government is a reflection of the people, and we have to stop and ask ourselves, at what point are we going to have a single vision that we all can buy into? Like when Michael Manley created the first Labor Day project, and him say it was for everybody from every walks of life to clean up their place and ensure that their environment, and there was a buy into. Who is going to inspire the Jamaican people around a collective vision where we answer to the duties that is called, where we move away from our own self-greed to understanding that it has to be collective, it has to be a collective effort if we are going to survive in this country. Too often, this is the narrative that you're hearing. You hear it in the banks, you hear it in the church, you hear it in the parliament, you hear it in the school, you hear it everywhere you go. I mean, you kill somebody for them house, you rape and cut the throat of an elderly lady. When did we become this? When we all decided that our individual dreams and aspiration is bigger than the community, and we no longer are our brother's keeper. And I don't think, I hear PJ says though, boy, it's that time for us to call for an intervention where we all have a part to play, and he likened it to cricket. I'm not a cricket fan, so I can't tell you about wickets, run, nothing. And that's a good call, PJ. But one of the things that I would have loved for PJ to do is to say, in retrospect, how did I contribute to the society becoming this? Because Andrew Holness was not the only prime minister, because so often my generation, when they're talking about PJ, love him to death, love the black man who became the prime minister, but they talk about Shell and they talk about these things. So you have to look. It is that it's a natural progression from where you put country above gain, and everybody will we put in now have to outdo PJ, because they don't just want one villa in France, they want 10, they want 20. And so it not shock me that Mark Golden is not getting traction in the parliament. The people them sever them conscience, Jeffrey. Is me, myself, and I, and the country can go to as long as me and Macronis them are we're okay.
Yes. For those who want to call in, we're not going to stay too long on the program here. You can call 954-529-8030. It's a WhatsApp number too. You can call from Jamaica, anywhere else in the world you want to call from. And give us your take on the video. Give us your take on what we're talking about. Is this country of ours that we love so much going down the drain? The level of corruption that the country faces stinks to the highest heaven. Isn't that true, Luke Joshua?
Again, must say it's a challenge, Jeffrey. I tell the story and I don't want people to become bored. There was a group of 7, 8 year old, 7, 8 and the oldest child being 14, printed a form and was on the plaza begging, solicited money for a fictitious football team.
I remember that.
And I know I sort of know those kids because I work with them. They would come to the homework program that we do, and they would come to the summer programs, and so I know them. So when I saw them, they were literally hiding. I went to stop them and asked them why they were up there without any adult supervision. And when I looked at the paper, I realized that there was no football team name. So, and when we were there in having a discussion, imagine you're having a discussion with the youngest being 7 and the oldest being 14, and in between that you have the 8, the 9, the 10, and 11, 12. And their question to me was that, why am I calling them out when they are only trying to eat a food, when politicians and leaders do these things readily and nobody seems to hold them accountable?
Good afternoon, caller. Welcome to Make We Talk. Well, you have to call me back, please. You have to call me back. Sorry, Luke. Go ahead.
Yeah, when you have the behavior that has become the norm, affecting our future leaders, that they feel that they have to steal in order to get ahead or to eat a food, it's that time that you know that the country is in a moral decay. But who, Jeffrey? It has to be that 1% or 5% of us who have not sold our soul to the devil for the almighty dollar, but love this country to the point that we are broken. We're like the lady in the car having the stroke. Every time we hear something on the news and we say, Jesus Christ, there they go again. Right? But it is a call, it's a call that I believe, like PJ, we must have an honest truth and reconciliation process in this country. We must hold people accountable for the wrongs that they have done, and for the country to now pivot. It has to take the responsibility of everybody in the village determining what the kind of village that we want to raise, because we have seen the results of crime. We see when Jeffrey, back in the days when JBC sign off at 12 o'clock, you have to wait until 6 o'clock the next morning to get news now, you know. It comes to you as it happened. Now, me believe that Jamaica is going to get worse, but it's going to get better. Because I believe that there are people every day, whether it's on your program or people like me that are just fighting in the trenches, get holy panic. Sometimes people say, maybe if you never chat so much, you'd have to get far ahead. And it's almost like sometimes you just feel like say you bear the scarlet letters when you look, that people can't see this vision. But Jeffrey, we see it. Imagine we were watching a brother and a sister being put in a shallow grave. They were pissed on and spit on, as if their life in Jamaica have no intricate value. But you see, when the politician them put on them clothes and go foreign and tell them liaritis, or the church go foreign and tell them liaritis, or the people who understand the importance of corruption because it makes sure that they have been far removed from the bowels of the poor, People clap them on and cheer them.
Yes.
All of us
True.
on this program live in, we come from a little village. And people talk to we still and them say, boy, Mr. Tavares, so and so and so and so and so are going. And in Jamaica, we say, if it not go so, it go near so.
Yes, yes, yes.
It's
True.
not that, it's not as rosy a picture as they have created.
Yes.
And this is part of the problem. I'm sorry that we don't have good constitutional lawyers that will help us to take these people to court, even on the merit that we know that the judiciary system is also corrupt. But
hold your thoughts for me, Luke. Hold your thoughts for me, Luke. Don't go anywhere. For those who the video that I just showed, with all fairness, I must say to you all, go to Emissary Media on YouTube, like, share, and subscribe to that channel over there. I don't know the person who owned that channel, but what they did was a great job of those two videos I showed. So it's Emissary Media. Go there to like, share, and subscribe, because that person who did that video there, they did a great job. I would love to speak to them. Anybody who knows them, have them to call me. I would love to speak to them. Luke, go ahead.
Yeah. Whether or not the brother or sisters were criminal, that is, I am aware of the narrative of the story. It is the brutishness to which we are living in this country. And any of us well-thinking Jamaican can become a victim of the hate.
Luke, sorry, Luke, we have a call. Caller, go ahead. Hello, caller? Yes, sir, go ahead. Hold on for me. There's something going on here. Hold on for me, sir. Hold on. Are you hearing us? All right, caller, go ahead.
Good afternoon.
Hold on. I don't know what's going on here. Hold on for me. I need to get this thing up and hold on for me, sir. Don't go anywhere. Please hold for me. There's something going on with the phone. Hold on for me. All right. Go ahead for me now.
Yeah. Good afternoon. I noticed that these politicians, them doing things to make them name. Remember, them not do a thing in Jamaica. See, to say they're going to do a thing the next generation are come 100 years after them. Take for instance, the 3 mile overhead, the overhead road where this administration bring out. When they bring it out and finish it, them at the Jamaica say the works are them. Them not talk the truth. And I said, boy, it was Bush administration and get that loan, secure that loan, and then cure the work. Them only are telling you and say, and them do it. So that is the first part of corruption. Take for instance, the north-south highway. North-south highway from Malabay to Criminal Park. When in the first Bush administration set that road, and when that road finished, you name it Edward Siaga Highway. It's a corruption that a corruption. So at the head of the street.
In what way that is corruption, sir? In what way that is corruption?
All right. If in what way that road is corruption, the naming of it, because that road no. Yeah, that is correct. That road don't have nothing to do with Edward Siaga.
Let me ask a question, sir. Is the road a PNP road or a JLP road?
No, it's not a JLP nor a PNP road.
Isn't that Jamaican road?
It's a Jamaican road.
Oh, okay. Continue.
So after you go name it Edward Siaga Highway, that is corruption. Because
and I still ask you the question, sir. In what way that is corruption?
Edward Siaga have nothing to do contribute to that road. The road that from east to west, that's PJ, that PJ road. That road is PJ Patso Highway. in the early in Bustamante Highway when him do that Clarendon Road, it came up in Bustamante Highway.
With all fairness, though,
That
you know, with all fairness, this is my honest opinion. I believe that that road should be named after Mrs. Portia Simpson Miller. But what I'm saying is this: the roads in Jamaica are neither the People's National Party road or the Jamaican Road.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with
that.
No.
Why am I getting the feedback? All right, go ahead, Carl.
Yeah, so we want this politician become straight and if you notice the
all right, sir.
But Jeffrey, what you need to say to this caller is that
Sir, hold on to me. We don't have enough time. I gotta go somewhere. So I have to wrap the program up. So thank you for calling in. All right.
What you need to say to the caller is that under every administration, we hire government to do improvement so that the country will do better and its citizens will do better. It doesn't matter who did it, because the PMP can't start it, the JLP finish it. It's not theirs. And that is why you shouldn't be racing to go put anybody's name on the development of the Jamaican people. And nobody owns the function or the outcome of these things other than it was done under a particular administration. Hence, you can score them if they are doing an effective job. But we treat it as if PMP own it and JLP own it. But it's not the Jamaican people. You notice in these conversations when the callers call, they are defending a position that at this party do it. Both parties, you know, have made some steps towards development, but they are the same one who go back and hold back the development because, again, individuals are put above the individual set and the outcome for them and their family are put above. So in the case of the Montego Bay accident, if Andrew Holness' family was in a car, the police would respond differently. The citizens of Jamaica don't value nothing because who the hell is that? You are not of importance. We still carry the narrative that if you are not a part of the Vumvava or the Vumvavi, you don't get treated as being anybody. So the level of nepotism that governs Jamaica is not going to change because in the mindset of the architect of that design, the people have accepted it. Big man have the money, same have the talk. It's never the people have the talk, you know. Politician can come and dismiss you and label you. Jeffrey, a troublemaker. Kill him. If in talk against the politician, how many times have you seen Jamaicans stand up and talk out? And people basically come out in support of Jeffrey Tavares. So the young lady is questioning the Prime Minister and her taxes. And the moderators, oh, no, we're not here for that. We're not here for that. Every day you get to speak to the Jamaican people. It's not green Jamaica. It's not orange Jamaica. You must account to the people for the wrongs that you are doing, and you must set the perception, because we have to say it's a perception based on a response that I need time to respond to the Integrity Commission, but given the fact that my job requires that I have to have my finger on the pulse of what is happening. Come on, Prime Minister, that is why we pay consultants. The consultant put to you their opinion based on their technical skills. So your time is to manage it so that you respond to give the Jamaican people the assurance that you have nothing to hide. Jeffrey, everybody in a Jamaica, even the diehard supporters will tell you, them not like Wagwan. Them not like Wagwan. This administration has made a mock of the society. But what you're seeing, Jeffrey, we are moving to a tyrannic sort of leadership that is going to, for me, determine if we have a revolution or not. Because people are becoming more and more frustrated because they realize that when they speak, the spin doctors come out and they put a pretty face on the monkey with lipstick, but we still know it's a monkey because the truth of the matter, from every crooks and cranny you walk in Jamaica, people are complaining. They are dissatisfied. And when you have this level of apathy happening to the people, you can expect that apart from having an earthquake in Jamaica every other second, every other day, that there is a groundswell of anger that can now flow over, and it will flow over. And I pray to God that we will have some wisdom or some guidance or some individual inspired to come and pull this country from the brink of collapsing and from civil unrest. But I hear you have to go. Thank you for having me, Mr. Tafa.
Hold on for me. Why am I having a feedback? I don't know. Anyway. Listen to this though.
Them like them friend and who them mother and them papa and them granny did vote for. Tradition politics them a vote for. Me vote for Jamaica. I'm in love, freedom and happiness and goodness. Me no like PMP, me no like GLP, me like Jamaicans. And Jamaicans not playing that. They're playing PMP and GLP. Half of the country, 3/4 of the country are PMP and GLP at them cause all the way are going to stay with we. Cause when we want to get rid we can't get rid of them. When we want to get rid of GLP, we can't. A new party we want, you know. Not GLP and PMP, I know them. At them hell to all the foolishness we've been going through.
My, Luke.
Killer. Jeffrey, you can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I can't anchor Bounty Killer. But the sentiment is that if we still hold to the strong view of a JLP and a PMP ever going to deliver to the Jamaican people, having demonstrated that they don't care, and I make no apology if I was a member of any of the two political parties, may I say to Mr. Golding, the perception that you did get the FinSac asset, you know, it was you bought out the FinSac asset. There's a lot of people who hold it in mind. There are a lot of people who still hold your colleague, Mr. Davis, for the financial breakdown in the country. So you need to fix that perception in addition to saying what you will do to change some of the arcade part of the Constitution, which will not allow you, because basically you hear the demagogue in Parliament tell Mark Golding, when we ask for the opinion of the Attorney General, we not have to share it with you. Because really and truly, nobody over there saying, are we in charge? That level of arrogance is beyond me, because an opposition leader is still elected by a certain majority of the Jamaican people and should be vested with the information that the Prime Minister have, so that collectively, it is serving the best interest of, but everybody now a master God. So me want God to shake the earthquake when them in a parliament and make Nesta know that you're not totally in charge and there's a God and he's just. He reigns on the just and the unjust. That power that you have attributed to yourself, man. No, brother. Because here we not gonna know nothing lest we tell you now. But no, man, so why we're not out in the street demonstrating? No, man, I tell you this. As I said to you, Marcus Garvey described it when our back is against the wall, like a rat. If they were cornered by 10 cats and realize that they're about to take my life now, the reality is going to step in short order, and you're going to see people demonstrating. You're going to recognize that we are not a green country, we are not an orange country, we are a country that have been underdeveloped because we elect some of the worst people in office.
And you know something?
And you know something?
I don't know where I'm getting this figure. You know something? We in the diaspora, members of the Jamaican diaspora in England, Canada, the United States, Europe, elsewhere, you all need to stand up. Luke talk about the demonstration. There is something being organized in the Jamaican diaspora. I won't say anything anymore right now about it. But the time has come for Jamaicans to stand up and talk about what is going on.
It's not just stand up. It's not just stand up, name them and shame them. We will not accommodate you or raise any money for you for any political campaign until you release the name of the 6 people. Because if you do not do that, you are creating almost an anxiety that there is something to hide. Jeffrey, every day in Jamaica you hear a story, you know. When you listen to the story them now, brother, sometimes you wonder if them people are afraid of God.
Yes.
You understand? And the man them just behave like say they're just dressed up in good clothes, but they are truly are the biggest crime organization in Jamaica.
Yes. Hold on for me, Lou. Caller, welcome to the program. Hold on. Welcome to the program, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I'm asking what is the solution for Jamaica, sir?
You don't know the solution for Jamaica.
The solution is that every Jamaican must.
That you guys are doing every program trying to bring on Jamaica. What is the solution?
Let me ask you a question. Do you live in Jamaica?
Yes, I'm living in Jamaica.
Hold on. You know what's going on in Jamaica?
What you guys talking about Jamaica?
What are Jeffrey? So what is he seeing in Jamaica? Because he has the solution. No, don't say it. Ask him, what is he seeing in Jamaica?
He's already gone.
You see, okay, so, well, I'm not going to spend my time because I've decided that part of what I'm doing as my resolution, I'm not spending any time. To speak freely in this country, I live in Jamaica and I feel the pulse of real people every day. Those who think that the country is far better off, I'm not into any argument with you. There are people who are having strokes every day but don't know it. There are people who have paranoia and they have schizophrenia. So I'm not going to really argue with anybody. My solution is that we have to take it on an individual basis. We have to go back to communities. We have to redefine as a people what it is based on what we have seen. Because the reality is that some of us look like say we only get up and we want to see Jamaica go down. But if Jamaica go down, we go down with it. So my solution is that it has to be on the people that you can influence. What is it that they would like to see? And how do we communicate that and put it into a functioning paper so that everybody has a part to play?
Yes.
And basically we are held to a higher standard based on our aspiration for the country and not for the individual. But if he sees prosperity as being real, why is it that 75% of your population is still poor? 25%, 24% consider themselves to be the middle class, and they say that they're vanishing, but 1% hold the wealth. Is it that God is only interested in 1% of the people prospering, while the rest of the Jamaican people die in adverse poverty? So because them get the incremental token that this is happening, nobody. If that is the case, then we can't fault the Manley, because it's Manley who came and said, boy, you know what, make education available for the Jamaican people. In this dispensation, you can have an education, but if you don't have influence, why is it that people are still using their uptown counterpart address in a country that is so prosperous? Why do we have heavy policing? Why do we have heavy policing in areas that we consider to be trouble or red light district? So you can continue, and those who want to continue to put their head in the sand because we want to create a better picture for the people over there. The Jamaicans don't have kings. We have leaders that we elect, but we're not holding them accountable because we have supporters who believe that other people not for talk. But you see, true, me not borrow nobody mouth, and the false seat them me having and me put them in. Me not care how no one say. Jamaica needs to change, and it needs to change from down up.
Look, they're saying we have some communication. The mic, I don't know what's going on, having an echo. So let's go wrap up and try and fix things and we come on next time.
All right.
So let's wrap up your final word before we go.
Jamaica needs people like Jeffrey Tavares, Luke George Cooke, your listeners. Again, Jeffrey, I come back to you with the proposition. We all need to work out our paper of what our recommendations are. I believe that this caller is saying to us, if the solution lies with us, but it can be that we come on Jeffrey Tavares' talk show and we talk, but there is nothing. There is no blueprint. There is nothing. So Lee Kuan Yew came and saw our financial goal and plan, modeled it and took it back to Singapore, and Singapore is a blossoming country. Again, I believe that we need to have what is called the Jamaica Forum, Redevelopment Forum, where we invite the best and brightest of our Jamaican people in Jamaica and outside of the diaspora to come up with what is going to be the new constitution of Jamaica, as well as to look at the developing aspect of that discussion. And we come up with green papers that we can ask the parliamentarians when new people put up themselves to become leaders of this country, and you form an independent party or a coalition government based on who is performing. You put the paper to them and you say, here are some recommendations. Let us see if we have these things. So we start off with constitution reform. We move from constitution reform to creating a security policy. We look at the development of the Jamaican people so that every Jamaican can participate at the level that they are at. We redefine our education system so that it meets the challenging need and it is realistic to the people that we are serving. If Jamaica is to be saved, all of us are to become directors of the company. We must put gains below, put the country above, work assiduously in achieving that, and Jamaica will be better off because we, the Jamaican people, not waiting on electing people who are the worst set of people who feel that once they get in office, we are their servants and their footstool and treat us accordingly. We can tell all the sad stories, but we must tell the reality. A woman was dying and the state-run police force, if that is the truth, failed to recognize that they were not protecting or reassuring the Jamaican people that their best interest was at heart. Do I have to be Andrew honest, who we sent to do a job for us, or a Mark Golden, leader of the opposition, who have private security at their house, which means that if this country was being run effectively, why would we need security when the people all are prospering? Isn't it an irony that you get protected, but the Jamaican people, the sirens would have been off if anybody was connected to our powerhouse. But when the low average Jamaican need to be served, they have to go through painstaking and through hell before anybody recognize their human being status. Jeffrey, it will happen. It will happen. Might be not in our lifetime, but we can say that we are forerunners. Like our forefathers we are playing our part in advancing the welfare of the whole human race. And I believe that the time is coming. There's a righteous wind blowing to our back. So when them say we just a chat and a bring down the country, history will recall that we did what we needed to do in our time. Norman said his generation was to bring forth independence, and our generation was to bring forth social justice for all Jamaican, not just the privileged few.
Look, before you go, I don't know why I'm having this. But I can't fix it. You spoke about Yanda Gala. Can you say it again?
I would. Oh, when Sam Sharp said, I would rather die on Yanda Gallows than remain a slave. And I would say to your caller, you can all kill me for my opinion because I don't share your collective diet of that we're all prospering, because me know say you send go beg somebody I find something. Because me I look so too name now for go beg something for myself. So I don't know where you are come spoil my Sunday with your healthy digestive lie. He's one of the liaritis that is holding back this country, because we will not emancipate our minds from the mental slavery. So somebody have to do it, and them people here are the best set of people for do it. Are the worst set of leaders Mr. Una elect. The worst set of leaders, because there is no honesty in their conduct. But they use the parliament because it is essential that you can't charge them for nothing. But look here, the people are looking on. But justice, you might press it down, Martin Luther King said, but it will rise. And when it rises and kick you in your grind, you will understand that God is watching and he's not happy. When you think the shaking them just a come so? Oh, wait, man. Wait, the Rasta man say I'm pinky to him put on. We tell him put on him 5 two of them. We know what going around here.
Luke, thank you very much, my good friend. Luke George, for all the issues on the system here. I want to say thanks to all my viewers, the callers, thank you all for interacting with us. And to the person who owns that YouTube channel. Thank you very much for allowing me to use it. Call me when if you have the number, call me, we can talk. And until you hear my voice again, tomorrow morning, or sometime, on the behalf of my good friend Cooke, I'm Jeffrey Tavares. Thank you all very much. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares channel. Have a good day, everyone.
When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must